They cloned Tyrone. They cloned Tyrone. Y'all, They Cloned Tyrone was a funny ass movie. And honestly, I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect it to be so funny and thought provoking. The movie was recommended to me by Miss Ariana Davis, and I'd like to thank Miss Mamas for making my night. But the movie overall highlighted things that I've been wanting to talk about on my channel for weeks now, but I've been holding off, so now that the opportunity is presented, let's take it. There will not be any spoilers in this video. I just wanted to highlight a few things that correlate with the concepts for a few videos that I wanted to make. With this channel, I talk about hip-hop and the music industry, and something I began to notice was that there wasn't much balance in the state of the music industry when it comes to black music. Like, they're out there, but I don't think there's enough to really even out the stepping field. At times I find myself reluctant to actually listen to new music now because I just don't really care anymore. I just feel like it's gonna be the same stuff anyways, and then when I do listen to it, it's usually mid, so I just find myself diverging into older music and other genres. And then it made me think about how often people online used to talk about how lit Summer 16 was, and I'm like, I don't necessarily think it was that lit. I just think it was more so the vibes and the music that made it seem better than what it actually was, because it's not the same vibe we're getting now. I mean, 2016 was a hectic year when it came to the elections and the Black Lives Matter protests. There was a lot of shit going on, but it was also the year of bangers. Drake was dropping, Beyonce, Kanye with The Life of Pablo, even Chance the Rapper when he was relevant. It was the last time Rihanna dropped an album, but it was also the year of increased quote-unquote mumble rap. But the mumble rap was straight vibes. It wasn't lyrical or anything serious, but it was fun. And I think that's what made the year so significant, because amidst all of that was happening, we still had fun music, which created a nostalgic effect for that time.
She's a
bad thing, fine as hell, thick as fuck, oh my god.
I mean, a lot of artists came and went, but they created a new sense of vibes. The vibe from the music was more fun to listen to and memorable. There was a balance in every spectrum, and that's what brings me to my first point that I got from this movie. In the movie, there was multiple scenes where they showed how music was controlling the people in Glen via mind control or their mood, which is actually proven. Music and the different hertz or vibrational frequency influences our mind and body to behave in certain ways. In the scenes where they were disguised as the workers in the laboratory, the scientists were playing rap music and the two men or test subjects were fighting. Once they switched to a more peaceful, calmer song, they immediately stopped and began embracing and hugging each other. They were more peaceful. Because we wake up every day and deal with life, we don't actually take into account that our body is a vessel with different chakras that are supposed to be balanced. And outside of God or your belief in the higher power, your unbalanced chakra is what makes you feel angry, fearful, paranoid, anxious, or depressed. In the 1950s, a certain rich family changed the tuning from music to 432 hertz to 440 hertz, which is said to cause negative emotions and stress. The 432 hertz frequency aligns with the natural frequency of the planet. So certain frequencies or 808 beats actually create aggression within your vessel to align you with a low vibration.
808, the 808 exists in the lowest chakra of your body. The majority of content that's related to the 808 is killer or sexual content. The original 808s was even off pitch. So that meant it's an actual sound in the track that you don't realize is there that is fucking up your entire frequency. Right. And now, today, every time I hear a car come out, it's 808. But if you think about African music and hip hop and what we was breakdance to, it was light.
The percussion.
It was upbeat. It was the drums. Now it's like, and all of this is a bigger, and it's like, man, you know.
Music like drill and trap and hip hop usually sits in the frequency that doesn't coexist with us as beings, not only the beats but with the lyrics. It's pushed over and over, regurgitating the same thing but in different formats.
To rap about that stuff, they actually pay us more when we rap about more ignorant stuff, so I make sure I even align and come talk on stages like this. But you guys, the NAACP, open up doors for people like me.
We're questioning why there's no good music when the people who sign these artists sign them for a reason. They know the negative effects it has on the community, but they don't care because it aligns with the agenda that they have for us.
Crackhead wasn't cool. Now they seem like they're making it cool to be drinking lean and syrup, and
it's the most dangerous. It's the most dangerous thing that's facing our society.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
But I'm saying that's hypocritical, though. You're saying
it's opportunistic. Yeah. I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Who's Dame Dash?
Artists actually get paid more and are encouraged to rap about degenerate shit. When that music is in rotation, you become the product of that rotation. That's why black people who interests align with K-pop, they dress accordingly, or the girls who like alt rock, you can definitely tell. The main problem with hip-hop isn't just the way you dress with the music, it's also the way you act too because of the message it sends. Not everybody is mentally strong enough to truly not have that influence ingrained in them. So with the city girls, it's fun, but it creates a behavior and a mindset that doesn't necessarily coexist with your reality. And this has become another way for men and women to butt heads on stupid shit that don't matter. Because don't forget that Carisha said it herself, she wouldn't want her own daughter being a city girl.
As pretty as she is and says, Mom, I want to be a city girl.
She ain't gonna be no city girl.
So Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl?
No. I want her raised totally different. Like, you know, I don't even want her to even see the light of day like that. Like, I really want her to just be like, you know, like level-headed, a schoolgirl, and just on a whole nother wave. Like, you know, I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, you know, I'm a city girl, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
And same goes for drill music. You could tell who really listens to what. Drill is extremely low vibrational, and I used to actually listen to it heavy too at one point. I remember I used to listen to Ludfo heavy, and I recall thinking in my head once, I was like, I wonder what it would be like if I was in a drive-by. And I had to give myself a reality check and sit my ass down somewhere, because I was like, why would I even think something like that? That is so dumb. But that music is masculine and creates violence subconsciously in your head. Especially if it's on repeat, you're angry, you're waiting for someone to try you. You have to evaluate the music you listen to. Like, I fuck with Chief Keef. I actually like his music. But two things can be true at once. It sounds good, but it can also be very detrimental. In the UK, they actually wanted to ban drill music because police knew that it played a role in sparking violence amongst gangs. Then there was a scene with Mind Control in the club where they played a certain song and everybody just got into a haze. They all turned into standing dummies. Music is way more powerful than a lot of people are led on to believe. Sometimes you really think you're in control when it's the complete opposite. Another take was with the chicken scene, where they found out that the new chicken that has been marketed in Glen actually has a substance in it that makes you laugh and or complacent. So this substance just so happens to be in every product, from the food to the hair relaxers to the juice they give to the churchgoers. It immediately alters your mood and makes you more accepting and compliant. You get a great example of this in the movie when one of the characters was getting her relaxer put in and she was complaining about not being able to buy school supplies for her class. And then when the effect kicks in, she no longer becomes upset about the inconvenience with her school kids and having to come out of pocket. It just becomes a whatever scenario for her. This is very subtle in the movie, but in reality we hear about this often when food is being banned or recalled. Red 40 is a known additive that is proven to be addictive and causes crazy health issues, especially in children. It is scientifically proven to cause ADHD, hypersensitivity, and a depletion in minerals in the body. Yet, it is the most popular dye in many of your favorite snacks and drinks. But one thing we truly have to take notice of is the lack of in this movie. It was a bounce back from the liquor store to the fast food chain to the busted ass houses back to the liquor store. Nothing in the movie was of value. Consumption goes hand in hand with a negative mindset. Liquor, something that Fonte drinks every day, is very low vibrational. The chicken he was eating, if it even was 100% chicken, came from the slaughterhouse and was deep fried in all its negative energy. Energy does not die, it only gets transferred. And in this world, you can't prevent things like that from happening. How we get our food is unfortunately just how we get it, but you need to have a balance even from what you eat. You can eat all the dumb shit you want, but you have to proportion it out, and that plays into the environment he's in. He doesn't have that balance, and that goes for the people of Glen and the people in the real world who aren't fortunate enough to have a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's in their area.
So, jumping right in, right? Y'all eat that. I mean, it's a couple things I want to talk about. It's a couple points I want to touch on before we go to the spiritual point. I want to deal with the physical. You eat that. And that is why you are constantly in a state of fear. That is why you are constantly stressed out. Because the fear hormones and the adrenaline, and along with the parasites and everything else that's in these animals, not just the pig, but all of these animals in these slaughterhouses, are being transferred into you through the blood alter your mind. And so this pig becomes so fearful that it is paralyzed with fear and unable to save its own life. He won't even try to run. He won't even try to fight. That's what a lot of y'all do. And this is why the media constantly projects fear. Okay? I see people do stuff all the time with their kids. Scaring the kids, torturing the kids. That's disgusting demonic behavior. Because you're exposing them to a frequency that their mind is not strong enough to operate in yet. Most grown-ass men are not strong enough to face their worst fears. Let alone kids. And what's happening is, it's like a pool. Frequency, being in different frequencies or levels of existence, it's like jumping in a pool. Everybody can't swim. You can't just throw somebody in the deep end. Fear is the deepest end of the depth. Fear is the bottom of the ocean. We ain't never been down there. And so with that being said, this pig being slaughtered is not only symbolic to the ritualistic, demonic stuff these weirdos got us living according to and lowering our frequency on the planet via the meat industry. This pig is symbolic to everybody who watching this video who is unconscious, or everybody in the world who you may be conscious watching this video and we monitoring their behavior. Everybody in the world is this pig. Fear. In a state of fear. Paralyzed by it. Can't operate. Can't overcome it. Afraid to move. Afraid to change your position. Afraid to put yourself in a better position. Why? Because somebody knows. Because you know somebody has your best interest your worst interest at hand. And in the case of this pig, it's your worst interest. But you can't think within this state of existence. You can't operate within fear. And that is what's the problem with a lot of y'all. Your mentalities are so weak, you can't operate outside of or within an uncomfortable vibe. Vibe is just short for vibration. You can't operate when you're uncomfortable. But if you can't operate when you're uncomfortable, then you can't mentally evolve. Because evolution is uncomfortable. When you go to the gym, it's not comfortable lifting weights and working out. But damn it, when you evolve, you become stronger. So a lot of y'all are becoming complacent psychologically because you're over-seeking comfort. And there is no growth in comfort. You must become uncomfortable. And so with that being said,
remember what I said about the substance that's in the chicken. It makes you complacent so that you subconsciously are accepting your reality. They're laughing it off, too zombified to care about what is actually happening to them. Then you have the real world. You're mixing low vibrational music, low quality food, and havoc is created. Not no little white boy Dahmer who just sick in the head just because he grew up not feeling loved. No, havoc is being created. I ain't never heard of a nigga drink a smoothie and do a drive-by. You subconsciously are in a state of low problem solving skills, anger, aggression, making stupid decisions because that's the reality that's being created for you. And your mind can't even imagine a better reality for yourself. You're not even able to have a solid imagination. And it leaves no room for growth. So then you have Yo-Yo, whose bedroom was covered in medals and books, who aspired for more but ended up becoming a hoe. And throughout the movie, she kept repeating that she's gonna retire, she's done, she's retiring. And the first time she quit that same day, she was back in the corner trying to suck some dick for $50. You are stuck in comfortability. Even when she knows she wants to be in a better position, she still goes back to what she knows. Yes, she aspired to go to Memphis and follow her dreams, but she couldn't even quit for a day. Who knows if she was gonna actually make it and not end up right back in the same position, just in a different area. They cloned Tyrone because Tyrone is a product of his environment and they need him for chaos. To recycle the same degenerate behavior, keeping everything in a loop so they can continue and test us and keep everything in order. They want and need people to think a certain way and be okay with things that should be unacceptable because it keeps balance in their world. This was a great movie and definitely something I'm gonna run back in the future. It is an instant classic and I recommend that people watch it, and not just because of the hidden messages or the wokeness, but because it's actually a good watch and genuinely funny. Well, that concludes today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments and make sure you like and subscribe. Toodles!